inside the game and broadcast. So I do apologize if I sound a little bit monotone or might sound a little bit worn or tired in this broadcast today. I'll try to pick it up a little bit here. Need to start bringing out the Dr. Peppers and the Monsters, just inject like IV fluid of caffeine my way. Alright. Starting over here at the top right side of Overgrowth in game number 2. We have the Terran player representing complexity. It is Tyga. He's facing off against his opponent down at the bottom left side of the map, leading with a score of 1-0. It is Bones. The green seed, man. Look at that. Look at how Bones has this so coordinated out. He's on the seed team. He's young, so it works out fine there. The logo's green. His team color is green. I still find it actually kind of funny that Blizzard still has the party hats. Who was it actually that whined on Twitter yesterday? Because it's stupid things that I pay attention to in my time. Let me double check and make sure that the overlay actually switched. There you go. Okay. Yeah, no. So like one of the stupid things I know, because I pay attention to Twitter and people drama and all that wine and whatnot. MC whined on Twitter. He's like, "Can Blizzard take off those party hats? They're so annoying." Many people were just like, yeah, they're distracting, we're gonna be negative. I think it's actually pretty awesome that they changed it. One of the things, like I said, I would still love to see is more additions to like skins, etc. into the game. I think it would be a cool addition into StarCraft. We saw already what happened when, you know, the level unlocks and you're able to switch up your SCVs or supply depots. It looks pretty awesome. It looks pretty awesome, so I would imagine, you know, if you make some microtransaction, the thing is it's not a free game, so if you make it a microtransaction, it might kind of rip on the player base, and the player base might get a little bit upset over it. But the fact is, you know, you start adding those skins and opportunities, you know, to change up, customize probes, you know, etc., zealots. I think people would, you know, pay some money. They would love to actually see that. It would be a little bit of a fresh change to the game that doesn't affect actual balance. I know some players are kind of a little bit, you know, freaked out over appearance of units, etc. It might be a little bit quote-unquote distracting, but like I say, hey, most of us, I'm like, just put it on low graphics, man. A lot of us play on low graphics anyway, so like you're not going to be as distracted as you typically would be anyways. Keep tabs on this probe, top left side of the map. Reaper going to be actually coming across along these edges of the third base, doesn't spot anything. We'll see actually if it goes all the way over here. Oh, the probe's going to come across and bam, crosses paths of the Reaper. Will go down. And now the Reaper can, of course, go across the map. SCV also did a little bit of scouting, already spotted that there was the natural getting built. Mothership core is out. Losing that probe, though, that is pretty significant because especially if you plan to hide any tech, if you plan to put up any forward pylons, it really does suck when you lose some of those forward probes. But it does come with, I want to say, a little bit of a time price as well. Because he sent the SCV, he lost a little bit of resource collection. Not much, but he lost some resource collection along the way. Usually you would see that Reaper come across the map all the way and just, as soon as he possibly can, scout out your opponent. Tyga dropping the expansion, adding the factory, Marines underway. This is a pretty standard Terran opening as well. Like both players are not like going crazy or showing us something that's just like completely out of control. Like yesterday when I watched Ryung's play, like that was a little bit something I wasn't used to. Going for that quick 2-base, it was like Reactor Marines, Hellions popping out, dropped a very late, dropped a, like, I don't want to say late, but dropped an armory as well as a starport, and went for this really sick timing push with Hellbats and Marines. It was pretty cool to watch. I enjoyed it. Now Reaper going to come on through, and we'll die before I could really get up into the high ground. But no, it was really cool to watch how Ryung played yesterday. It was very fresh, and also like with the combination of the Viking clearing out the Overlords. Once all the queens were dead, it was just funny watching the Zerg opponents just be like completely supply blocked for the whole time. I was cracking up. Alright, so already a nice little Marine pack, so if the Stalkers do decide to come across the map, they will be deflected, but they're going to go to the watchtower right now. Let's see how far they walk up. They're going to walk up just in time for the Widow Mines to hit, and yep, time to turn around, go on home. That's a dead end right there. that Stalker didn't see the dead end sign, man. Decided to go really far, got caught. So now with 2 Widow Mines and this little Marine force, it's one of those things that Bones is going to have to give a little bit more attention to. because just generally, if the Widow Mines are able to sneak in within the base and the natural and plant themselves, then they're going to be able to get a lot of damage done. The newly buffed up Widow Mines do quite a bit of damage. They wipe workers, they wipe up mineral lines. Who was it? Pro League actually yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, it might have been day before. But I'm pretty sure it was Terminator who had Widow Mines just enter his mineral line, did not react, and it had his whole entire mineral line just wiped. Now, dual prong attack, we do have the Widow Mines rolling inside the natural, not going to make it through all the way. There's an observer there just in time, but the main base will continually get a little bit more damage done. We'll focus down a pylon really quickly right now. Photon overcharge energy is almost at its necessary level on the mothership core, about 10 seconds away, but for now just enough to deflect his opponent. Now what this did, again, it didn't really change Bones' playstyle too much, but it did force him to activate the photon overcharge at the natural. Losing the pylon did supply block him temporarily, and then on top of that he was forced to build up a couple units. So all this does is delay tech a little bit, and that supply block delays his production. So little things like that. Little things like that. Meanwhile, on the backside over here, Taiga once again going to be dropping down the third command center, as you see. Is that a second photon overcharge? Yes, it forces a second photon overcharge to be dropped down, and man, getting really a lot of use from not really too much. Taiga having a lackadaisical moment right there for a sec, forgetting that the photon overcharge was still activated. But you can see right now, Taiga, you know, he's got spot of the third base, he's got spot of the fourth base, he's got, oh, never mind, I thought that was his marine as well. No, it's an observer, but if you send a marine over there, he'd have a spot of the fourth base, but I think he's got a pretty good idea as well. So he knows where his opponent's at. He knows if he needs to drop a scan to double check and check out tech, he knows where to find it as well. Everything's going to be surrounded within this area. +1/+1 underway. We have a second Colossus already. Now, my interest here is what did Taiga learn from last game? What did Taiga learn from last game? Because last game he didn't have Vikings out in time. This time he's continuing with the medevac. It's going to be maybe trying to go for that dual prong attack once again, and I don't know if it's going to pay off. Observer spots the medevac coming over here to the left side. Back at home, we take a look and see he's just starting to add additional barracks. Getting his 1-1 underway. Stim just about done, and that's one of those things that sucks too as well. When you don't have Stim, it's sometimes hard to pull off the drop. Now loses the medevac along the way. Stalker's trying to micro their butts out of the way. That one Stalker is going to live. Yes, it does, I believe. That Stalker had a dream that it would be able to run away from those Marines. Third base spotted by Bones. And does Bones just go for an attack across the map? Third Colossus comes out. He's got 5 gates forming right now. Those 5 gates finished. That's a lot of 2-base reinforcement, by the way, to this army. You can see that Taiga's looking really deeply across the whole left side of this map and trying to pick off any forward pylons. There we go. Notices that one pylon is forming. There's a second one right under the gold base right now, and if he tries to walk up to the gold base, he's going to be greeted by a very, we'll call it hefty Protoss army mothership core joining the fray. I feel like there should be a Colossus, there we go, waddling up there as well. Good catch right there, forcing the stim up. Force field's going to actually catch quite a few units. Good pickoff right there as well. Lift off at the third base. We'll lose the supply depots over here, as well as also most likely these are the gases. Oh man, like I said, what did Taiga learn from last game? Looks like he didn't learn too much. He's gonna, after seeing those Colossus come out this heavy this early, getting those Vikings out very late again. You're gonna pay for that every single damn time. Every single time that happens, you're gonna pay for it very late. And I'll be honest, this little flank force right here, it's not gonna be able to do too much. He's gonna try to bring it back on the backside, but really it's not gonna be able to do too much. Time Warp getting thrown down will delay some of those units temporarily. All the SCVs do go down. The army in the back is getting wiped out. There is still that frontal army that's starting to pick off at the rest of the forces. The reinforcements are coming a little bit later than I think he expected, but majority of the Marine forces are gone at the front. Vikings landing to try to help out. Stalkers blink out of the way. There's an observer also watching this as it all happens, and really, as Bones, you got to be very happy in your position. You just back up. You just wiped out a whole entire natural and quote-unquote third base of SCVs out. He pulled everything to try to defend off of that. He might have a little bit of an army force right now, but his deficit in worker and supply count is going to be very, very hurtful for him, especially as the game goes on. We'll have to drop the mules. Already starting to lose some of the mineral patches as well at the natural. Mine almost mained out. So what's going to happen is Tyga, even if he does try to outlast this game, he's going to be moving from 2 base to 2 base very shortly. My question actually more so is for Bones. Does he decide to drop a 3rd base or just follow up for another 2 base attack? I don't think it's going to be the smartest option for him to actually do something like that. You gotta be really careful, you know, with how long you decide to all in and how long you decide to believe in your forces that you have off of 2 base. Like power Protoss and all, haha, but you do eventually need a macro up. You do eventually need to get a 3rd base up. He only has 1/1 as well. Last game he was already at this time finishing off the game with his +2/+2. Now units get lifted up and medevacs are going to be heading on what looks to be to the watchtower. Yeah. So 3rd Colossus third Colossus underway. That's Mothership Core. He's gonna put a lot of pressure on him. And once again, this 3rd base is gonna be under a little bit of duress. Now back at home, are there Vikings? Looks like 3. Once again, not that exact number that you're looking for in the Viking count, but the army value is much higher than last time around. He's got a lot more Marauders. He's got Marines. If he somehow forces Bones to wait a little bit longer, he's gonna have +2 attack as well. Now, losing a couple stalkers along the way, so force fields do get dropped down. Vikings are gonna get focused down. They're gonna be out of the game before they even take out 1 Colossus, and it's gonna be very important to make sure that these Colossus are the ones doing the most amount of damage. Good split on the units right there, making sure the Colossus can get the most efficient engagement that they possibly can. Where are the reinforcements right now for Bones? Bones' reinforcements are very late. He might just have to recall on out of here if he possibly can. Drops the recall. Does he have enough time? He does. Man, barely gets on out of there. And now I'm worried for Bones. Now I'm worried for Bones. He drops in supply. That supply difference right now is also, remember, on top of not having a good enough worker count right now. Tyga's sitting with 39 workers and 122 supplies, so he's got a 20 supply lead while he's down 20 on workers. So there's about a 40+ army value advantage right now for Tyga himself. Vikings once again get brought down. I think this is potentially game right now. 1 Colossus goes down. There's really not many ground forces left in the game. Tyga just going to split up all of his Marauders. They're going to be able to just completely finish this all off. Mothership Core, I don't think has enough energy to even activate a Photon Overcharge if it wanted to. Charge lots are going to try to press some of these units. Actually, it doesn't have charge. Those are just Zealots. So gateway units trying to save the day at 18 minutes, and you know, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. 3rd base gets spotted. We'll force most likely the cancel on it. Yep. And now, unfortunately, our Protoss player is going to be looking at a very bleed out scenario. You can see the main base down to 5 minerals. Pop goes the weasel. All the probes get spotted out, and now they're going to be heading down into the natural. Honestly, I don't know if is he going to just pull him with him? Yeah, he's going to bring him with him, man. Here comes the Protoss pain train. Things you don't see every day. But +2 attack is finished up right now. The one thing he does need on those medevacs is a little bit more energy, but we're just looking at this very minimal force right now. This might give Bones some hope in terms of trying to engage into him, but the thing is, look at this, another refreshed army with more medevacs. So he's going to be safe either way. Probes are going to come forward. Probes are just going to dissipate. Guardian Shield pops. Force fielding off some of the forces on the right side as well, trying to prevent them from getting any surface area, but there we go. All the probes, all the Zealots die, Colossus falls, Mule dropped, and we should see that GG come out. Going to game 3, boys. Going to game 3.